Welcome back to the 40-year-old dunk journey. Today we're doing our speed and plyo workout. Last time you saw me, I was doing my strength workout. Usually I alternate these two every week, try to get about 4 done a week. I've already done my warm-up, so we'll get right into our accelerative work. It's winter in Canada, it's minus 30 outside. Obviously we can't run outside. I've got 20 meters of turf in my gym here, so it's perfect for our acceleration work. Again, we're gonna set up. I do about 5 sets of these. Every set I'm ramping up in speed. So we'll get your torso angle set, left leg forward, right hand up, and we're driving that right leg through. I like to switch legs every time. Obviously, I feel a little less stable off of the leg that's been affected from the Achilles. So I'm a little less explosive on this side, but obviously that's something I need to work on. So 2 down, now we start pushing max speed. Get your torso angle set. Second to last set here. We're gonna get up to some top speed. I'm tired already. Shouldn't have had that box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch last night. Last set, we're pushing for max velocity here. Ooh. So next we have weighted power bounds. The sled's a perfect tool for this. It keeps you in that accelerative angle that we talked about during the drive phase of your sprint. So the torso is going to be stuck at about 45 degrees. As soon as your foot makes ground contact time, you're shooting it horizontally. Again, we're trying to cover as much horizontal distance as we can every single step. Oh man, dead. So we want this sled to be pretty light. We don't want to be pushing too much weight on here. We want this to be fast, easy to recover from, which it's not that easy to recover from me right now because I'm out of shape, but I'll get there. All right, that's enough of that. I guess that's just the start of my workout and I'm already dead. What the hell? Seated broad jump to box. We're taking out that eccentric loading that you'd usually get from a broad jump. We add a little bit of box height at the end to teach athletes to get their feet up when they're doing a broad jump. I love this. For athletes that have to go test their broad jumps in a combine, but for me, I just like it for a little bit of horizontal power development. So we'll start at 7 feet. See if I can go up from there. We're gonna superset that with our band assisted jump, so we'll have a heavy resistance band. What we're trying to do is get an overspeed into our jump, so we're jumping faster than we naturally can. We have these things called motor units in our body, and what they basically do is take the signal from your nervous system, your spinal cord, and tell your muscle fibers to contract. The faster, more explosive a movement, the more motor units we can recruit. So we're gonna be adding some tension to this band, jumping and pulling. We'll move this up to 8 feet. Oh, barely. Don't know if I can go up much further than that. Set 2, we're trying to jump as fast as we can and also as high as we can. Last one, 8'2". Oh my God. It almost ended me. Set, we'll push this. Okay, on the drop jumps, we're gonna test my RSI. So next I'm gonna be doing drop jumps. I'm gonna be testing my RSI, my reactive strength index. What that is, it's basically just how much time you spend in the air versus how much time you spend on the ground. So it's a good measure of how explosive an athlete is. An RSI above 3 is world class, I'll never get there. An RSI above 2.5 is very good. Hopefully I can get close to that. Anything below 2 is not very good, I would say. So we'll get this started. We're gonna standardize my drop jumps every time off of a 20-inch box, just so I can see my improvement over the weeks. So we'll start with the first set. Drop jumps versus depth jumps. A drop jump, we're trying to get off the ground as quickly as possible. A depth jump, we're trying to produce as much force as you can, so you're trying to jump as high as you can off of the drop. That time, RSI 2.03. It's gotta be better than that. Set 2. 2.38. Set 3 at 5, 2.38 is my high today. 2.42. A little bit better than Shane.
My numbers are out of this world.
Set 4. 2.27, trash bag. One more. One more to get 2.5. Last set. 2.45, Shanesy. Best one yet. Time to move on for our max unilateral jumping off my one leg. This is probably the hardest thing for me to do since my Achilles. I want to shorten the gap between my affected leg and my stronger leg. So in the weight room, there's something called the SAID principle, specific adaptations to impose demands, which just states that if you want to get better at something, you have to do that thing very often. So if you want to get better at jumping, you have to jump a lot. If your goal is to bench press a lot, you have to bench press a lot. So for me, I'm jumping as often as my knee and my back lets me. It's the only way I can really progress. I'm gonna go single leg, 2 warm-ups, 2 max attempts. Starting with the affected leg, Shanesy. That's all for now. 9-9. Buddy, you got 10-11. You got 9-11.
Yeah, but I used to get 10-3.
Yeah, I used to get 11 feet.
No, you did not.
Second warm-up. That's Shane's max right there, 9-11. 2 attempts to get 10 feet. If I could get 10 feet off my affected leg, I'll be pretty happy. Oh, got it. That's my affected leg, 10. I'll go for 10-1 next. Your last attempt off my affected leg. Oh my God, I got it. 10-1, buddy. Not bad. All right, we'll move on to my good leg. See what happens. 9-11. One more warm-up attempt. This ties Shane's max if I get this. Yep, got it. 10 feet. After this, here we go. We're going to jump 2 max attempts. Since I'm pretty heavy, my 2-leg jumping will always be better than my single leg, I think. But I do think improving my single leg jumping will translate well to my bilateral jumping. First max attempt. 10-3, not bad. We'll see if I can beat that. When I do get dunking, it's going to be off 2 feet. When I was dunking 10 plus years ago, I was pretty much primarily a 2-foot dunker. I came with the territory, a lot of lifting, a lot of Olympic weightlifting. Just translates the best to bilateral jumping. Damn it. I feel like I can get that. Come on. One more attempt. How can I not get 10-4? Oh my God. Well, I guess that's it. 10-3.
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. So next I'm going to get into my hang power snatches. I like hang snatches a bit more than hang cleans on my speed days. It's lighter and faster. We're moving the bar as fast as we can. We're also moving the bar a very far distance in terms, so it translates well to your jumping. In terms of weightlifting shoes, if you're getting into lifting, you want to buy some shoes. It's nice to have that heel lockdown. Also, you get a wedge in your heel, so it shifts your tibia, your shin bone forward, so you can get a little bit more depth with a neutral spine in your back squats or your front squats whenever you're doing your big bilateral lifting. Going to be tracking power with my hang snatches today. Won't get too heavy. You'll probably go between 65 and 95 pounds. Just looking for how fast I can move this bar. All right, first set warm up.
That's all?
It's pretty good, bud. It's better than you. Trying to throw this through the ceiling. Close. So best today is 952 watts of power, set 3 of 4. try to get one of those reps above that. Oh. Yeah, 970. Fourth set, last set, gonna go to 95 pounds. Looking for that 1,000-watt threshold to pass. Oh. $9.79. All right, we'll take it. Gonna move on to some back squat with chains. Keep it fast, keep it light. My heaviest lift today is gonna be back squats with chains. Chains offer something unique called accommodating resistance, and that just means as we descend into your squat, as we get into a more disadvantageous position, the weight will be lighter. As we come up into your squat into a more advantageous position, the weight will be heavier. The chains are about 12 pounds each. We want about 2/3 of the chain on the ground at the bottom of your squat and 2/3 of the chain off of the ground at the top of your squat. In terms of speed, velocity, I'm going to be staying in something called strength speed zone, which is between 1 and 0.75 meters a second. So it's moderately heavy. I don't want this too heavy. I want to still be moving this pretty quickly. These speed zones are arbitrary, obviously. Whether it's 0.74, 0.75, it doesn't really matter. It just gives me an idea for future programming where I can go in terms of weight, but still moving the weight quite quickly. I'll get into my warm-up set, see how fast I can move this bar with the chains. So we're moving that above 1. Obviously, we'll go up. Maybe I'll get 95 pounds, maybe 135 on the bar. We'll see how fast I can move that. So we're going to get into our first set of squats. Going to do 4 sets of 3 today, 95 pounds on the bar. With the chain weight, it'll be about 150 pounds at the top. So it should be moving quite quickly. Again, we have to keep this above 0.75 meters a second. One, across the board, Shane. Means we're going up in weight. Second set of 4, this will be about 185 maybe at the top. So still not too heavy. We'll see how fast I can move this. .89s. 0.88, let's take a big jump up. We'll go to 185. What's the worst that can happen? So a benefit of tracking speed like this shows you, like if you're sick, if you're tired, if you're having a bad day, shows you exactly how fast you're moving the bar so you can drop the weight a little bit, stay within a safe range. And conversely, if you're having a really good day, you slept 9-10 hours, you're feeling incredible, you can push the weight a little bit. So 185 on the bar, this will be about 235 maybe. So obviously quite a bit slower, 0.72 is my high, so I'll stay at that weight. And I'll try to beat that speed threshold on my next set. I'm trying to beat 0.72, that was my fastest rep last set. Ooh, got it. 2 reps better. Okay, that's the last for my bigger lifting things. Now it's just accessory work for my calves and my shins and lower back. After the more difficult, heavier lifting, we're gonna do our accessory work. Again, just like last video, for me, it's calves and lower back are the big key areas that I wanna improve upon. They give me issues from time to time, so I want to address it as much as I can. And again, this will be high rep. Probably speed through this video. No one's gonna watch me do 20 of these. and talking while I do this, it's gonna make my head explode. Oh, head's gonna explode. I feel like my back is jello after one set. Today I'm gonna do more of a gastrocnemius calf exercise. There's two big muscle groups in your calves, your soleus and your gastrocnemius. Your soleus is more active when your knee is bent, so in like a seated calf raise, and gastroc when your knee is extended, when your leg's straight. It's not like one works and the other doesn't. They both work together synergistically, but we can bias which muscle we want to recruit more. The biggest technical issue I see when people do calf raises, seated or standing, is they supinate their foot, so they're opening their foot away from the midline. We want to cue them to keep the weight on their big toe and their foot pad. So they're lifting straight up and their knee is staying right over your midfoot. Again, I'm going to do 20 reps of this. I'll fast forward this because this will not be fun to watch. I also like to take about a half second or full second pause up top. Just feel that gastroc recruitment. Last but not least, we're going to do some isolated tibialis anterior work. What the tib ant does is it dorsiflexes your foot, so it brings your toe up to your knee. But more importantly, for sprinting, for jumping, it stores eccentric load. So when you're taking that penultimate or any step, we're loading that tib ant eccentrically. The more energy you can store safely, the faster and more force you can use to propel upwards. So we want that muscle to be strong, we want it to be trained. A lot of young athletes I see, it is weak, so it's in most of my young athletes programs. You can train these unilateral or bilateral, so one or two legs. For me personally, I like training them unilaterally because I have such a strength deficit between my left and right side. You can go heavy or light. Personally for me, I like these at the end of my workout, sets of 20 to 30. Just feel that burn in the tib ant. I find it relieves some stress on my knee as well. And again, it's an often undertrained muscle, so it's nice to work it in isolation. Oh, that's it. And then for me, I'll do as many as I can comfortably on my affected side and then match that on my good side. And ideally, that will slowly catch up. My right leg, my affected leg will slowly catch up to my left leg. So I'll do 2 sets of each of my accessory lifts. And then I'm going to show you my favorite stretch for the anterior hip and for my knee. Anyone dealing with knee or anterior hip pain, this is a must. I do it after every workout. What we'll do is we'll get your knees on the ground. You can put a pad here to make it a bit more comfortable on your knee. We're sitting back, getting your shin flush with this wall, keeping that shin flush, and then stepping up with this foot and trying to stand up. And it's not about getting your back to the wall. What I want you to think, if you have to dial it back here, I want you to think of contracting your butt, your glute muscles. And what that'll do is the antagonist of your hip flexors, so they're hip extensors. And if you can recruit that muscle, it'll inhibit or turn down the tone of your hip flexors. So we're trying to squeeze your butt as hard as you can, 5 seconds, 3, 5, and then release. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release. Squeeze, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And then we repeat that on the other side. I try to do this after every workout. It relieves a lot of short-term knee pain for me. Makes my hip feels better, makes my low back feel better. But that's it for today. That's the workout. That's my speed and plyo workout. Hope you enjoyed it. More people saw this than I thought they would. I thought I was going to get 100 views, maybe 200 max. So thanks for following along. Thanks for subscribing. Hopefully at the next 4, 5, 6 months, I can get my first dunk. I'm going to try to record a video every week, every Sunday when the gym's closed, and we'll see what happens. So thanks for joining.